Okay, so this is 5.2 of geometry. We got a few theorems here. So theorem 5.2, the perpendicular bisector theorem, says if PM and AB are perpendicular, and MA is equal to MB. So basically if PM there, the up and down one, is a perpendicular bisector, it's perpendicular and it bisects a segment. Then if we connect PA and PB, PA is congruent to PB. And we also have the converse of that theorem, saying that if PA is congruent to PB, then PM is the perpendicular bisector. It's perpendicular and it bisects AB, so that MA is congruent to MB. So, let's use them. Let's look at our got it problem. So, SQ is the perpendicular bisector. It's perpendicular here, and it splits PR in half. So, using theorem 5.2, I know that PQ needs to be congruent to QR. So they need to be equal. So 3n minus 1 is equal to 5n minus 7. So I'm going to solve this equation. I'm going to subtract 3n from both sides. Negative 1 is equal to 2n minus 7. Add 7 to both sides. I get 6 is equal to 2n. Divide by 2, divide by 2, and n is equal to 3. They want me to solve for QR, so I'm going to plug back in here. 5 times 3 minus 7, which is 15 minus 7, which is 8. Okay. So, a park director wants to build a t-shirt stand equidistant. Equidistant means the same distance from the roll-in coaster and the spaceship chute. What are the possible locations of the stand? Okay, so the stand should be on the perpendicular bisector of the segment. So here, let me move my circles. They redrew this over here. Here's spaceship chute, here's rolling coaster. If I connect these and find the midpoint, so the midpoint A here they made, and then make the perpendicular bisector, like if I stuck it right here, oops, right there, by our theorem 5.2, I know that these are going to be congruent, right? So they would be equidistant. It would be the same distance from S and from R. So I would choose any point on that line, L. So let's look at our got it problem. It says, suppose the director wants the t-shirt stand to be equidistant from the paddle boats and the space chute. What are the possible locations? So I'm going to give my best attempt at sketching this. But if I've got P here and S there, I'm going to connect it. Right there is approximately the midpoint. And I'd make this line, I'll call it line M, how about? So anywhere on line M, it would be equidistant. M is about down here. R is about down there. Just to get a feel for it. Okay, the distance from a point to a line is the length of the perpendicular segment from the point to the line. What this is getting at here, if we look at A here, and looking at the distance from A to L, it's the shortest route, direct route. I go straight to it so that it's perpendicular with the line. I wouldn't say like, oh, hey, I'm going to go up here, and then I'm going to go down here, and then, okay, now count all of that. That's the length of the that's the distance. You count all of that. No, by saying that it has to be the perpendicular segment, that means that we're always going to have one answer. We're all going to agree on it. Instead of someone saying, well, I'm going to go out here first and then down. Someone says, well, I'm going to go over here first and then I'm going to come down here. We could actually measure it if we wanted to, but Okay, two more theorems. 5-4 is the angle bisector theorem. If QS bisects the angle, which means it splits it into two congruent angles, and SP is perpendicular to QP, and SR is perpendicular to QR, then SP and SR are equal. And we also have the converse of that. So if it's perpendicular and the lengths are equal, then it is an angle bisector. So let's try using that. Let's just do our got it problem down here. So I have congruent angles, right? It bisects that angle. And I've got perpendicular angles down here. So then I know that these two lengths need to be equal. So I can set their expressions equal. So 6x plus 3 is equal to 4x plus 9. So I subtract 4x, subtract 4x. 2x plus 3 is equal to 9. Subtract 3. I get 2x is equal to 6 divided by 2. And I get x equals 3. And then they want me to find what the length of FB is. So 6 times 3 plus 3, that's 18 plus 3, which is 21. And there's your homework.